Hey guys, it's Damien, back with another video. I wanted to really quick, I had a handful of emails asking some questions on how to apply for the gourmet food category on Amazon. If you have not seen my videos, really quick about who I am. My wife and I started a very small candy company from our home, and then we grew that into a commercially licensed facility with stores on Amazon, eBay, Etsy, and of course on our candy website, the corporate website of thebrittlebox.com. We've had a great amount of success. It's been about six or 7 years we've been now doing this type of a business with the online candy business, and we continue to grow. We do a lot with Amazon. We do FBA private labeling. We make our own products. We label them. We do some co-packing. We offer a lot of different services. So I have this video series that I've been starting on FBA specifically and on Amazon, because I feel for our business it's done a tremendous amount of business for us. I don't like to get into numbers. I don't express how much money I make a month. I will just tell you that we make a very good living doing what we do, and we love what we do. So I hope these videos will help you. I'm going to use this board, and I'm going to run down a list of items that you'll need in order to apply for the Amazon gourmet food category, gourmet grocery and food category. Amazon has a lot of categories that actually require approval, and they really do this just to be safe, to keep it safe for the consumer, and also to keep you as a business owner to kind of cover your own butt when it comes to selling food products, to make sure that they're labeled properly, packaged properly, and all that good stuff. So I've experienced this. I've been doing this for quite a few years now, so I offer these videos for a little bit of help and kind of a tutorial on how it works. So let's get right into it. So the Amazon gourmet grocery category actually has several items that you'll need to present to Amazon in order to apply for that category. It's not impossible. Don't get discouraged if they ask you for documents and you kind of go back and forth with them. That's kind of normal. It did take me probably a couple of weeks, if not a little bit more than that, to finalize everything when I initially applied. So just give them what they want, show them the papers and all that good stuff, and you'll be good to go. So specifically, what will you need? The first thing when you apply for the Amazon gourmet grocery category is that you have to register as a professional seller. What they do that for is that they want you to have an account that is every month. What they charge us is $39.99 a month to have that professional seller account, and once we're registered with them, you can begin selling. If you're looking to sell specifically in the food category, they'll need a little bit more than just you to register as a professional seller. You can register as a professional seller and start to sell in certain categories that do not need to have approval, and there are quite a few categories for that. But when it comes to shipping to them either through FBA or sending directly to your customers and using Amazon as the platform to sell on, when it comes to food, you've got to have an approval. So register as a professional seller is the first thing, first and foremost. The second thing that they're going to ask from you is going to be proof that you have valid invoices. Invoices showing that you've been in business. If it be a supplier, it could be invoices that you've shipped product to other places, but you need to have valid invoices. These invoices also are going to show Amazon that you've got a business address, all of the business information from that transaction from you to a vendor or whomever it is that you are supplying the invoice. That's going to be proof to them that you are a valid business, not just somebody randomly shipping stuff to customers that are food oriented, but invoices from products that you're either buying and reselling, or invoices from ingredients that you're bringing into your facility to put together and create another product. So valid invoices are definitely good. The next thing that they're going to look at are going to be your seller performance targets that they have established. And what these are, the first one is going to be the order defect rate. They have certain standards for sellers. Amazon, out of all the platforms that we've sold on, in my personal experience, between eBay, Etsy, and of course having my own website, Amazon has a little more stringent, more strict, and more regulated performance standards. And I think it's actually pretty good. I think it's great, actually. It sets the bar much, much higher than a lot of websites and what they expect. Not that the other websites don't have expectations, and of course, seller performances that you have to meet. But now that I've been on Amazon now for about 2.5 years, it definitely is a different experience than having to sell on eBay or on Etsy. But definitely worth it because the customer base is enormous, and the amount of users on Amazon is in the millions and millions. Every single day, transactions in the hundreds of millions get transacted through Amazon. So it's pretty good to have those standards set into place, and it's definitely worth trying to get yourself up to that tier, up to that bar. So what they have is an order defect rate of less than 1%. So the standards you have to meet. The first one within the standards are going to be a defect rate of less than 1%. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that the amount of transactions that you're dealing with has got to be less than 1%. If out of 100 you have 1% or one actual transaction that is of a defect, that would be considered that 1% that you need to kind of kick it up a notch and eliminate. There's three specific areas within the performance target that you have to maintain in order to sell in the gourmet grocery section, gourmet grocery category. So the order defect rate has to be less than 1%. Pre-fulfillment cancellation rate has to be between 2.5% and less. So pre-fulfillment, before you actually end up fulfilling an order, if you had to cancel that order for any reason on your end, if a customer asks to cancel an order, that is one thing. But if you have to cancel it for any reason, let's say you have a handful of ingredients that you didn't get on time and you couldn't make an order or couldn't fill it, it has to be less than 2.5%. And that's pretty easy to do because for the most part, when you begin to sell products, if you're specifically making them like we do in our business, 2.5% is very, very small. We really go for 0%. We're currently at 0%, so we don't have that as a factor of something that we need to address and try to make better. You just don't want that cancellation rate to be more than 2.5%. So the third and last specific metric, performance metric within the seller performance that you need to have in order to be eligible to sell in the grocery category is going to be a late shipment rate of less than 4%. We've actually never had an order in the 2.5 years or so that we've been on Amazon. We've never had an order that has actually shipped late. If you have a designated time and you specify that as 3 to 5 day turnaround or 2 to 3 days, whatever it may be, you want to make sure that that shipment ships out on that date. And then traditionally they give you, if you're using free standard shipping or like a priority shipping, you've got about a 7 to 10 working day turnaround time to make sure that gets to the customer once it's shipped. So that's a lot of time to really have a product arrive for the customer. But if you're in the process of making things fresh to order, like our business model works, we don't have a lot of our pre-made cookies. We don't have pre-made stuff made. So we have to ship it within that window. So the late shipment rate of less than 4%. Okay, so the seller performance metrics that they're going to require, again, is going to be these three items in particular. The defect rate, your cancellation rate, and late shipment. If you just get your items out on time, the time period that you've actually told the customer you would, none of these should be a factor. You shouldn't even think about them. But just keeping them in mind if it is something that you haven't established just yet in order to be qualified to sell in the gourmet grocery category. Now, the last thing that they do ask, it's not something that's required. We had it, but it's not something that is going to be a make or break. But when you get approved for, if you get considered for the gourmet grocery food section category, you have to, if you have one, show them a website What this is going to do, it's not required for approval, but it actually helps in the process, and it would give you a much better chance of getting approved. The website doesn't have to be something extensive. It doesn't have to be anything that's super intricate or super involved, or something really with like 37 pages within it and you've got hundreds and hundreds of items. If you've got a basic website and you've got a few of your items up, maybe you're just into selling teas, herbal teas, and you've got 10 or 12 different teas to choose from, and your website is super simple, that's fine. As long as you have something that you can send them, that they can click on that link during the application process, and then check out the website. It just gives your company more of a validity and a better look, if you will, for them to approve you. Our website, I made the website myself through Weebly. We've got about 500 to 600 items. It took probably about 6 or 7 months to put that together completely. By that time, that is when we initially applied for Amazon. So that was an additional help in the process of getting approved. So if you have a website, again, it's not a make or break, but definitely they're going to request to take a look at your website to see how professional you look. So out of those 4 items, those are going to be the things that are going to be the most important in regards to getting approved for that category. If you're in the business to just resell products, and maybe you don't make actually food products, or you're not into something that you hand make, that's perfectly fine too. The one advantage I will tell you from my own experience, being that we make a lot, probably 80% of what we sell on Amazon is made through us. We have 648 items. We probably have 400 to 500 items that are just made by us and filled by hand. That's a huge advantage, because if you're reselling products that are already out there, the competition factor is much bigger. No matter how you bundle, how you bring things together, there's only so many ways that you can resell gummy bears. There's only so many ways that you can sell sardines, or if you're selling canned goods, because normally there's going to be anywhere from 8 to 10 sellers that are going to be selling the same stuff. So the more original that your stuff can be, the more original your handmade products may be, the better off that you are, and really gives you an advantage if you're in the business of doing that. And like I said before, many of my videos, there is an endless supply of items that you could be making by yourself. Anywhere from, of course, candies to snacks. If you're doing salsas or barbecue sauce and so on and so on, it could be anything. The more unique it is, the more unique the packaging, the better off you're going to be. So I hope that that helps you out. I hope that helps you understand what is needed to get that application approved. If you have any questions, let me know down below. I will definitely answer them as soon as I can. I'm going to do probably another 2 or 3 videos tonight and cover a handful of new other items in regards to Amazon. So thanks for watching, and give me a thumbs up if you like my videos. I appreciate the support. If you don't, give me a thumbs down. Always appreciate honest opinions. So thanks, guys.